welcome. We've made it to our first weekend of 2025. Yay! We survived. And wow, did 2025 start off with a bang. But first, welcome to the circus. I'm your host, Phoenix Electra, and I thought that we would begin 2025 with reading and practicing the exercises from the Singer Book of Art Embroidery. Let me get the right title. Oh, actually, first it might be time for snacks, but you only have one cat. Little man. Yes? Do you have a comment for your fans? Come here. Come here. Do you have any comments? Would you like to say something to your audience? Oh, come here. Little man, do you have any words to say? Mom, aren't we streaming? Where's the snacks? Oh, there's Loki, of course. The boy there. Hey, Loki. You want some scritches before we get snacks? Scritches for snacks? Nope, you just want snacks. All right. Hello, welcome. I hope you have a cup of tea, something warm, whatever. Something to drink because reading and talking makes us so thirsty. I have some little scrap sections here, and we'll read a little bit, we'll stitch a little bit, and we'll go from there. All right, welcome. Did I say who I am? It's Phoenix Electra. Welcome to the circus. Huzzah! Alright, let's get into the concession stand. Because yeah, we can't start a show unless they have. Oh, there goes my camera. Oops. Okay, he stepped all over things. Are we back? Stop. Stop. Right. Oh, this is terrible. No. Enable. Re-enable. We are locked. We cannot have this. Oh, come on. We can't have this horrible face. Awesome. We are starting off 2025 like we are real streamers. I see you. Start. There's the cat. Let's go back over here. And we're back. Huzzah. You wouldn't know that 3 years ago tomorrow, we did our very first live stream. Please don't pull out the capture card from the camera again, dude. Come on, Loki. He helped himself to a treat. You go first. Loki. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Come on, little man. Come here. Ooh, we need some more snacks in the snack sack. We need to refill the snack sack. Yeah? Oh, good job. You're such a good cats after work. Gotta do tricks for treats around here. Nothing's for free. Gotta earn your keep. Ow! Yep. Cat snacks are expensive. And the boys know how to do good tricks. Come on. Alright. Brave Reapers, I guess, is not interested in snacks because we're getting ready for bikini season around here. Because if you wait until March, you're too late. Gotta start early. Gotta cut those. Get back to our fighting weight. Okay. That's it. We're done with snacks right now. We gotta switch the screen, get back to presentation mode so we can present the book that we're gonna read. And we're not unplug our capture card. Hello, sweet fluff. Yes, let me get to the screen sharing. Stop screen share, and we're gonna click the window, and we're gonna open up this one and go back to the. Oh, excuse me. This one share, and we're gonna go back here. Presentation mode. There we go. So we're gonna minimize this, but keep this one big. If I minimize it, does it? No, because it's gonna share the whole thing. All right. Oh, we're streamers. We know how to do this because streaming's the best. Live performing, my favorite. Pre-records when you can delete, edit, finagle all those things, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I just prefer this. And it's alright to perform with animals because Loki does such a good job. Oh, hello. Yesterday he just wanted love so much. He's like, Mom, I'm not hungry. I just want you to sit next to me and fluff out my beautiful ruff. So, got some coffee left. I have some bubbly tea. We're going to read a little bit. We're going to stitch a little bit. The first part, I can't remember if we'd already started, but here's one of the covers, the Singer Instructions for Art Embroidery, published by the Singer Sewing Machine Company, and this published in 1911, or copyright 1911. They've got this lovely lady with all dressed up at her similar treadle machine, her hair all coiffed. This doesn't have her glasses, but she's got her fabric, her hoops, and her treadles. What I can't see in this arrangement is the chat, which we haven't missed anything yet. Make this a smidge smaller. I know, but it's small things it on year M2. Alright. We'll figure this out. Alright, so there's our lovely lady. And here we begin with the general instructions. In using the Singer sewing machine for lace making and embroidery, there are some very important rules that must be followed. Okay, there we go. Followed by all who desire to learn how to do this work, this most fascinating work, and it is fascinating. The most important thing is to be able to easily and naturally to exercise an independent movement between the feet and the hands. The feet must be trained to start, stop, and operate the machine very slowly by means of the treadle without any help from the hands. This leaves both hands free to manipulate the embroidery hoops holding the work. The first impulse of a beginner is to move the feet in unison with the hands. As a consequence, short stitches are formed, and often several stitches in the same place. I think I've done this a couple times. The fundamental rule is move the feet slowly and the hands rapidly. This is the hardest thing to acquire, and you will need to remember it constantly at first. With practice, however, it will become easy and natural, and you will be able absolutely to control by means of the treadle alone every movement of the needle. Ooh. In connection with this treadle movement, the secret of successful machine embroidery is to know how to control the accuracy, the movement of the embroidery hoops between the stitches, gauging the distance to the next point where the needle should penetrate to produce the stitch desired. To prepare the machine. No, I want this one. No. Phoenix, you said you knew how to dodge a stream. You're doing a terrible job. Let's see here. To prepare the machine, remove the presser foot and raise. Okay. Presser foot removed. Then push the screw regulating the stitch as high as it will go so as to. Then push the screw regulating the stitch as high as it will go to stop the feed. Okay, this is then regulating the stitch. So this is the stitch tension. Here we have the stitch lengthener. Okay, then regulating the stitch as high as it will go to stop the feed so that the tension, see that the tension was adjusted so that a perfect stitch will be made upon the material. Okay, so I think, let's see here. I think that's all the way loose. Feed dogs are still going. Do we need to adjust our tension here? Okay, our feed dogs are still going. Okay, we're loose, but not too loose, I think. Well, we'll see. This is why we're doing this. See that the tensions are adjusted so that a perfect stitch will be made upon such material and with the same silk that you intend to use for the embroidery work. We're using cotton. The only silk threads I have are on old spools. I don't have new silk, so I'm not doing that. Our needles, our thread is wrapped around, so let's fix that real quick. Okay, where are we next? While not essential, it is suggested that the feed and the throat plate be covered with a plate made for the purpose. Right, see, I don't cover up my feed dogs, and it says right there it's not necessary. Brilliant. Let's see here, but I do have the plate. I just hate using it. Oh, hello, sweet boy. Hey, Loki. Hey, little dude. Can I sit with you while I read the instructions some more? Come on, I need a cat. Alright, let's see here. Where is the feed? It's a little round cover. There, we've got a feed. This is a feed plate cover. Oh, you know what? You don't need to see me so big. Let me zoom you into the machine. Hey, boys. There we go. Oh, just pulling off feed dogs. Let me. Oh, and then he dropped a bobbin too. Alright, remember later, I've got a bobbin on the floor, but no feed dogs. I've got a cat, and we've got a hello. Just go back up to this next section here. So next they give the list of all of the possible feed dog plate covers for the different machines that you can be obtained by mail or otherwise from any Singer shop, which doesn't exist anymore. Do not remove the throat plate, nor disturb the feed dog, because it is essential that its position should remain as originally fixed whenever the machine is used for family sewing. So, because this machine does all sorts of things, we're going to leave those feed dogs in place. Oh, Freya Froofers! paratroopers. You're disturbing me. Okay, where were we again? Right. Place small iron washer or spool weight on the spool to retard the movement of the upper thread. The spool weight can be obtained at any singer shop. They must be for those little mini spools because I can't fit anything on top of this one. Alright, well, we've got some tension. We're actually using this thread, and I have this other spool sitting on it, and then we're wound. Yep. You're not where you're supposed to be. We'll just readjust those tensioner around the tensions. Okay, can you just sit where you're supposed to? You go around the front of that, not behind it, please. There we go. Alright, next. Preparation of the hoop and placing. Let's see here. Alright, so here I have these old-fashioned style hoops. There's not a winder on them, it's just this spring in the inner loop. Hoop is also metal with some cork on the inside, which makes it super fancy. Alright, well, now we can move the mic stand out of the way a little bit. Okay, so what are they going to say here? Take the two hoops consisting of the embroidery frame and wind them with an, they say, let's see here, wind them with a narrow strips of white muslin covering them diagonally. That's something I haven't done. I didn't prep for this part, so I'm just going to show you real quick what I'm going to use today. So I've got this little hoop, which is the outside hoop. I place that on the bottom, take my fabric, and then we take our inner hoop and just loop it inside. It's good. This makes a very tight seal. So then once it's plooped, I'm going to hold with 2 fingers across the hoop, or if it's a big hoop, you could use your hand, and I'm just going to tug the fabric so it's nice and taut. And this is the inside hoop, so then I can just slide it under the needle. Okay. And the next is a little bit bigger. There we go. To put the material on the hoop, stretch it smoothly over the larger hoop, then press the smaller hoop firmly down into the larger one. If the material be not firmly and smoothly stretched over the frame, tighten it as shown, which is what we can see here, figure 1. Oh, I'm pointing like you can. There's figure 1. I'm just tautening it. There we go. Being very careful not to stretch it on the bias. Oops. But to pull it with the thread of the goods, doing the work slowly and carefully. If the material be so delicate that it is liable to be injured by the hoops, notwithstanding the muslin padding, place tissue paper or cotton between them. So they say they must be using wooden hoops, I'm guessing, that need some more tension. Alright, sometimes the material upon which the embroidery to be done is smaller than the hoop, or the design is so large that it comes close to the cloth. In such cases, sew the material firmly to a piece of strong cloth large enough to cover the frame, in order to keep the work fresh and avoid disfiguring pinholes. It is advisable to sew the outer rim of the larger hoop a piece of cloth large enough to permit of rolling in it where whatever material may project beyond the frame while it is on the machine, and to wrap the entire design in white. It is put away. So if you're not going to be able to finish something all at once, you have a plain white cloth to wrap everything up nicely. All right, placing the work. Let me change my slippers here. Placing work on the machine. Figure 2. Figure 2 shows by raising the needle to the highest possible point, you can place the embroidery frame in position without removing. Oh, yuck. Without removing the suspense. The needle. Although in the Singer sewing machine, the latter is such a simple operation that it is usually best to remove it, thus avoiding the danger of breaking the point or injuring the work by scratching the surface. Yep, so I usually just have to take the presser foot off, but I have at times where the needle wants to like catch on the hoop or drag, or it is down too low and it's like pulling in the fabric. Not as nice. And if I was using something fancy besides this canvas, it could damage it, and we don't want to mar our silks. It is advisable to have ready an extra set of hoops containing an ordinary piece of cloth to be used to try the machine after changing the tensions and oiling the machine to avoid any chance of staining the work. Oh, interesting. I was thinking I should have, when we're done, maybe we'll oil the machine up because it's been a while. Well, that's a good idea. So I have 2 hoops. That's the bottom. Let's go back to the top. Cats, I hear you. No. What are you doing over there? Loki's sitting on top of the zippers. I spent some time last night and I pinned them together so that I knew where we were going. Very challenging. Let's see here. Therefore, the movement of the right hand is what determines the length of the stitch. Do not change the positions of the... Did I? No, that's where we are. Do not change the positions of the hands in... hold it in... What are you doing? Why are you dropping stuff? I'm going to have to find sharp things on the floor. No, you want snacks and you didn't come at snack time. And now if I get more snacks, all the boys are going to be like, "What do you want more snacks?" Free of froofers. I can never win with you. Do not change the positions of the hands in holding the hoop. Guide the hoop backwards, forwards, right, left, or in circles without removing the hands from the hoop at any time. So I've got the left hand like in the hoop and the right hand is the one that's moving stuff. Alright, so we try that. Practice slowly and carefully, and when you have learned to govern the movement of the frame, you will find there is no exercise more valuable to a learner than that of making stitches between 2 parallel lines drawn on the cloth about 1/4 of an inch apart. Persist in this until you can drive the needle through the center of each line at will. When this is accomplished, decrease the space between the parallel lines until you reduce it to about 1/16 of an inch. Then, when you have succeeded in making the stitches so uniform that the work has the appearance of a tiny ribbon appliqued on the cloth, you'll be ready to practice the first lesson in open work embroidery. All right, so we kind of skipped a few steps when we were playing last year. So let's see here. It says draw a line about 1/4 inch. We'll just draw one straight line. Of course, we're not reeling because it's already hooped. And then, it's about 1/4 of an inch. No, that's We flunked straight line school. I think that's a little bit, that's a thick 1/4 inch. But that's where it says the first lesson is. So let me bring you in a little bit more so we can see. Let's see. I feel like I missed something, but let's double check. We're on page. Alright. Oh, I did. Oh, like, let's see. Okay, the embroidery hoop should be held in the right hand and moved in the direction while the left hand is used to press the goods gently down in front of the needle. Practically, the left hand does the work of the presser foot and the right hand acts as the feed. Okay, I did miss that section. Alright, so then that's where we're going to start. So let me take a moment. We'll stop sharing the screen for a second. Let me press the focus button because some things are a little blurry. There we go. So I have my 1/4 inch line drawn. Tuck in, sit up straight. Hey, horror! Welcome, welcome to the first weekend of 2025. We made it! Huzzah! I hope your streams have been amazing. Okay, now let's see if we can remember. What did we read ourselves? Oh, the feet. So the left finger in front of the needle, and we're going to try to sew like we're making a ribbon. And we're driving the wrong direction. Ooh, you got some great deals at the grocery store today. That's amazing. I concur. Great deals at the grocery store, especially these days. There's no better excitement. That is a good deal. Wow, we are feeling this first sewing lesson. Okay. I thought it was not terrible, but then you go and read the manual and you're like, oh. I can do this, but only with all the bad habits I and not. Oh. You know what? Let's get a bigger piece of fabric and a bigger hoop because that is a disaster and I need some more room to practice stitching these straight lines. What's going on? Oh. Okay, bobbin's the right way. There. Alright. Take action. What are we doing? We are sewing straight lines and slowly reading through the lessons for the Singer instructions for our embroidery. peanut butter normally is about $4.50 for $1.80. That, holy schmoly, that is a great deal. Yeah, seriously, stock up now, because that is a good price. I haven't bought peanut butter in a while. I do have a tub of peanut butter powder where you just add water to, which I very much enjoy. I know, I'm definitely super excited by good deals at the grocery store. Okay, there is our hoop. I'm gonna get my pen again, and we're gonna try to find some quarter-inch lines. Actually, I'm gonna use the straight of the base to just touch one line. Oops. That's about a quarter-inch. Okay. Take two, bigger hoop. Everything else the same. And we're going to use our left finger to hold the fabric, and our right is going to move so that we're super close, dead center in the middle of these lines. We'll see how this goes. And this is going to be a whole bunch of unlearning bad habits for me, because we've been doing some embroidery, but we've not been very particular about some of these details from the book. But better late than never. We're not too far practicing. So, and okay, I need to slow my feet down and speed up my hands. It's like playing piano, but instead of music, we have stitches. Okay. Oh, sit up straight and close your mouth. You're not catching flies. I'm just going to tighten this. I loosened it up a little bit too much. It's going to be. Okay. Trying to be Oh, I need to keep moving my left finger. Okay. We're not super close, but the length is becoming more consistent. Okay. Today we are going through. We're doing a whole bunch of practice lessons. This is like we're going through the tutorial section today. Oh, welcome, Kilroy! Oh, where's my chat not showing? Sorry, y'all. I'm seeing the live chat, but I forgot. There we go. We are starting back at the beginning of the Singer Instructions for Art Embroidery Manual, and right now we are currently sewing like a satin stitch. I thought instead of just playing that maybe it would be fun to go through the lessons in this book on Saturdays until we've completed it, and either we'll and then we'll go from there. So right now I've learned all the things I've been doing wrong. And I'm trying to practice beautiful, even, slow feet and fast hands. Oops. And my feet are getting away from me. So there's our first line of stitches. I'll probably draw another 1/4 inch line, but we're not ready to decrease to 16th yet. And then we'll read the next section. So we're not making anything, we're just learning. We're making our skills improved. That's what we're doing. All right, let's take this off, lift up our needle, and see what the back looks like. So here's our line of not quite perfect satin stitches. There's our camera. And the back, not terrible, because I perused the manual for the machine and realized I've not been putting the bobbin in the right way forever. So that should help with the nastiness on with the bobbins. Okay. Oh. Keep drawing stuff over here and then forgetting that our focal length is right here. So I just drew another straight line, and I will again use my left finger as my presser foot, my right hand to move the hoop. We'll see if we better than the last one. Okay. I know, it's like I want to speed my feet up, but I can move my hands faster, but not my feet. There we go. At a reasonable speed. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I think I'm going to sign up for the SMACSI is mix. I do my subscription. Okay. Should probably hold everything perpendicular. Oops. Yeah, super exciting going through instruction manuals. It's like the tutorial stream and menus, but no menus. We're just reading tutorials. I still want to rush my feet, but starting to be more close and even until I start to say, oh, we're looking less sucky than the last one, and then it's like, no, you're still terrible. But I'll grab them out to show for tomorrow. I did manage to finish 1, 2, 3 things when I was going through and looking at everything in my unfinished pile before. I was like, oh, if we're going to make 25 and 25, we should attempt to not have too many finger over projects. So worked on that. I got the zipper one. Probably that little man is sitting on, pinning it. We'll get that finished tonight. Whatever. We'll sew some stuff. I really want that winter costume to be finished. Or I'm gonna work on it slowly because I don't know how much winter I have left where I am. I know it's only January and that it snowed up on the hills in June, but it's not like East Coast. We're planning on quite the permaculture excitement for the back 40. Gotta get my tomatoes started soon. Just gonna start some seeds. And I'm gonna grow some orange poppies. I love poppy flowers almost as much as I enjoy lilies of the valley, and I need to get some. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around. My 1/4 inches are still pretty crappy, so I'm going to draw another line. I know this is going to be super exciting. Like, Phoenix, are you practicing anything else this morning? I might not, because the back is so much better now that I've got the bobbin in the right way. Who would have thunk that I would have been putting in the bobbin wrong for how many months now? A lot. It's amazing anything turned out. Okay. Here's our next line. So, let me see if we can make this. So the length is starting to improve, but they're still having quite the inconsistency with how close the stitches are. Killer it. Last time I tried to have a garden in 2021, started the seeds in February, and they were coming up nice, and then they died on me. I haven't tried since. They didn't even make it to spring. That is some of the misadventures of keeping a garden. I've done that before, or got things going and then there was not enough water, so they all dried out and wilted, or Yeah, I know. Gonna try again. Hey, Allie, welcome, welcome. I hope you survived the first week of 2025. Being very exciting going through just instruction manuals. And I'm trying to sew a satin stitch very poorly. Oh, oh my gosh. It was so much better when I was doing it all wrong. Why is my bobbin thread showing, but my top thread isn't? I'm overwintering your peppers, basil, parsley, and oregano. Ooh la la. I don't have, I mean, or blah, blah, blah. Rosemary's a perennial shrub here. Lavender is a perennial shrub. The oregano just grows outside of its own volition, which is nice. Soon to start Brussels sprouts. I should see, I don't know if I have Brussels. I know I've got these. Okay. Why is my bobbin showing, but my top thread isn't? That's fun. I have to see what, I have to go through the seed selection. I know some stuff. I love garden cucumbers, but have the worst time making sure they get watered enough. Because they're water hogs. Yeah. Oh, this is so frustrating. It's worth it. Sometimes you need to just unlearn all the bad habits that I didn't know I had when I was just like, oh, we're just gonna play. And now that I'm like, oh, we should try to actually do better and read the manual. It's like, well, Phoenix, you're abysmal at this. Kind of that inching over the left finger so that it acts as the presser foot. I think it's going to be a while before this looks like a beautiful, nice braid. And I figure I'll just cut up all the practice samples for cabbage for other projects. But I think later, and because I've got the no, I did find a nice length of plain cream fabric, so I've got that pulled out for apron making. Can we plow through 2 aprons tomorrow? We'll see. Cat, what are you doing underneath there? Okay. I don't know where you are. Make sure I don't pedal on your tail, dude. Oh, there you are. Alright, let's see if this line of stitches is any less crappy than the first three. Nope, still bad. But good to just practice. Satin stitch is one of those like you use for everything, and I've been wanting mine to look nicer. Good thing I've got a whole bunch of bobbins, and I should probably switch to the gray instead of this orange that I only have a limited amount of. Like, this much is a limited amount. Phoenix, you're funny. When the top thread breaks, we'll switch to white or the gunmetal gray. Hey, little dude. I don't know if there's snackies under there for you, but I appreciate your company. Something is not right underneath there. They're just too tight. Oh, the bottom looks fine. The bottom is right. Okay, let's try this again. Super exciting. Should just called this episode the Satin Stitch Show. Nope, slow down. You have fast fingers, hands, but slow feet. Could you not bonk the light, dude? Oh, Phoenix, don't sew like you're gonna catch flies. Okay, that is. It's starting to look less terrible. Yeah, there's a little section that. Let me change that here. There we go. Oh, I don't think we're ready to move past our 1/4 inch rows, so we'll trim this and do another one. Oh, but the back is not complete disaster. All right, let's put the different thread on. We'll go back to our favorite gunmetal gray. Keep using it. I'm gonna be sad when it's all gone now. Actually, you know what? I'm not, only because that's what I have on the bobbin, and I want to be able to see if there's any dot in this. So let's use this blue, black, something. And we'll be able to see if something is not pulling nicely. So we've got like, it's supposed to be all orange. We're not supposed to have gray blues in there. Little dude, there's no snacks right now. No more snacks, dude. No more snacks. We're trying to sew the most beautiful satin stitch. Getting better at the length. It's still there's location next to each other. Kind of gappy. And well, we can do better than that. I know it. Just a little bit more practice. Which probably in reality is like another 7 or 8 hours of just this before we even move down to start narrowing it for the 16th inch spacing. Alright, let's try draw another line. This fabric has got a pretty good, I can see the weave, so that I'm like, oh, we can kind of guesstimate where our line is by just following the thread. Alright, next line. Next. Yeah, what's up, old dude? What do you think? What do you think, little dude? I think that is tedious, but I'm gonna enjoy my future projects after I take the time to do this. At least I've got one of my knitted sweaters on. Alright. Coffee stitch. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attempt 5. So we are not a bobbin. Yeah. Well, that's not helpful. Oh, God. I know. Those silly bobbins. How dare they run out on me? How dare they? That is one of the things I like. A tiny little complaint about this machine is that I think I can wind more on a round bobbin and on this one. On the bullet ones. But, oh well. They always run out. They do always run out at the most inconvenient time. That's what I want. Can we have... Who needs all these fancy things? I just want the bobbin that never runs out. The never-ending bobbin. Oh, never-ending bobbin, please. Maybe one day. Nope. By Jove, that looks like a satin stitch. Kind of thinking after we finish the treadle one to go through one of the more modern ones at the 101. I also need to decide where I want the camera set up because I've had so much fun this past month at the 101. Oh, hey, William! Welcome, welcome! I turned my head and everybody's sneaking in the back door. Oh, Allie, the best for long-lasting bobbin is the two-spool national. One spool is on the top and the other in the canister in the shuttle race. That sounds spectacular. Oh my gosh, I need to stop looking at Craigslist for the machine that got away, but somebody is selling a 24112 in the original table, and the motor works for $300, but I'm like, I don't have room. From Satan Stitch to Statin Stitch in only 7 tries. Ching! Oh, yes, Allie. Yes, we've gone from... All right, thanks for... Yep. Better than 666 tries to go from Satan to Satin. That's funny. Oh. It's still get excited and then I start walking it up again. That was super fun unplugging my capture card and then needing to restart everything at the beginning of the show. It's like, brilliant. Okay. Okay. It's definitely not perfect and I should probably do a couple more rows. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to just jump and start doing smaller stitches? But it's important to be able to sew this length for when we get to the pictures. We need to be able to seam stitch in all different lengths. So we'll do some more. Oh, Allie, you mean you got exited, but then you saw the devil in the details? Maybe not 100%, but getting there. Yes, this is definitely not 100%. We're probably at like 45. I'm going to grade myself honestly. I wouldn't even give this like, we're not even at 50% success, so. It's worth it. Yeah, I was looking, so I was going through just pulling out my coffee. Like before I even read the manual, all these flowers that we stitched and the open work. I love some of the flowers on this one. Oh, these gold ones. We sewed some beautiful flowers, even though we had not really read the manual yet. Like, super excited for how much better our embroidery is going to be after taking the time to stitch these beautiful 1/4" satin stitches. Practice makes better. Except for right now we don't look very much better. Trying to go the direction I hadn't the last time. Definitely our length is becoming more consistent. It's, again, the hardest part for me right now is keeping the distance between the stitches uniform and tight. Which there must be a right hand problem. The left hand is just holding the fabric down. Oh, I imagine you started at the point you are at now and trying to just go from the manual. Yes. So we're on like page 4 of the manual. Let's see here. I have it. Start screen share. Where are we? That's this window here. Share. Yes, we're on page 4. How to handle the hoop. The top of. Where are we again to refresh ourselves? Yup, figure 3. Practice slowly and carefully. When you have learned to govern the movement of the frame, you'll find that there is no exercise more valuable to the learner than that of making stitches between 2 parallel lines. Yep, we are parallel line stitching, the most valuable skill. Page 4 of 5,000. It's not 5,000 pages, Kilroy. Let's see. Oh, no. Let me get back to it. Which tab am I looking at? It's only 120. And there are some pages that just have pictures on there. I love how they bothered so much back then. Yes, I know. Or at least in writing. I suspect in practice that there was some not niceness, but this filler stitch is so invaluable. It's worth my time to sew another couple lines at this approximate 1/4 of an inch distance. Then I'll continue practicing. Alright, how about we'll sew one more straight line and then we'll read a little bit more and attempt some, even though I know I'm not fully up to snuff yet. But I don't need to completely bore you with all of my slow practice. I'll just bore you with some of it. Okay. Oh, I must have tried this. This is bigger than 1/4 of an inch. Because part of it goes into like stamping the fabric, and well, let's finish this line and then we'll read the next section. I think we better consult the troubleshooting part. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah, because I'm sewing terribly. Troubleshooting. How do I get the machine to just sew a beautiful, even stitches? You're funny, Allie. I think troubleshooting for my width problem is just continue. You still suck. So 500 more parallel rows at 1/4 inch, then 995 at 3/16, 2/16, and then down to 1/16. Ugh. After this, I'm going to enjoy ironing those pieces before I cut those aprons out. I know. Everybody's laughing at me. Oh, Kilroy, Allie, that's another thing about the old books. They'll tell you to do something, but then not tell you how to do it. They do assume some level of passed on knowledge. See, the same is true with knitting and crochet patterns too, which is funny. I didn't know that there was this huge debacle in modern knitting and crochet. Because I learned how to read the old-fashioned simple patterns with abbreviations. And I guess there's this group segment now that wants everything like written out in paragraph form and like spoon-fed to them, basically. Wow, that's some... Yeah, we have a few more hours before we're good at this. And that would just drive me crazy, because I just give me the numbers, use the abbreviations, and we'll get to the end of the row. But yeah, some people just want things, or we just have a different level of baseline knowledge compared to what we used to for some of these traditional crafts. And or just a human to be like, now mom, how do I do this again? Or grandma or whatever. Grandpa, uncle, cousin. Wow. So we're getting ready to stop this section. We've got some of the crappiest stitches from the very beginning. We are sucking balls. Alright, let's see here. Oh, ah, yes, Ellie, the good old-fashioned do the regular manner. Yes. Now, always a challenge estimating the reader's skill level. This is very true. And Allie, with knitting and etc., they have yes, they do have European terms and North American terms, as well as the old style and new style. Yes. Knitting, I've noticed slightly less. Definitely true with English crochet versus American crochet. And what I've learned, honestly, from reading both, as long as you're consistent in the stitches, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna really count. Is that a double or a single crochet? That might change the size, but that's a different issue. Hillary, I just feel bad for that poor sap in the middle of nowhere in the 19th century with their first machine, and these books assume that they already know stuff. That is definitely a way bigger issue, and like, this is the very first sewing machine in the town, and you don't know how to use it, and we're just gonna flub it up. Alright, let's read the next section. These lines, definitely not spectacular, nor are they anywhere good enough, but let's practice the next little section, and then we'll see what happens. Oh no, the coffee's all gone. How dare they? Okay, oops. Should hit the share screen button. Here's our screen. All right. It says preliminary practice. Take a piece of unstamped material to practice. Oh, we did that. Okay. Next, one of these lessons is going to be this beautiful flower with red berries. Outline stitch, photographic reproduction of actual work done on a single-family sewing machine without special attachments. All these people thinking they need these fancy embroidery machines. Who needs that? Alright, we can just skip to page 11. Be sure it is drawn perfectly tight in the hoops so that it is not to drag but move freely. Practice until you acquire perfect control of both hands and feet while you're working on it. Rest the arm near the elbow on the table of the machine. You can control the movement of the hoop much easier in this way by allowing the entire arm to move with the hand. Awesome. Let's see here. Beginning embroidery. Oh, Oh, let's hear Killer. I wonder how much they gussied up that color example. Good question. Yali says quite often with a new purchase of a machine, specifically 1850 to 1880s, you were given instruction before getting your machine at the sewing center for the manufacturer. That is right. So they had a Singer store that you showed up at and learned some stuff. And then you're like, oh, and here's the manual in case you forget what we taught you. Let's see here. Beginning embroidery. When the work is in position as shown in figure 4, outline the design twice with plain stitching and then begin embroidery. Take the upper thread in the left hand, make one. No. Alright. Oh. You know what, I keep forgetting to read all the way to the bottom of the page. That would be helpful. Stitch drawing up under the thread and hold both ends firmly until 2 or 3 stitches have been taken. This should be done on the same spot in the cloth that is to be entirely covered. Okay, so we hold it in our hand, or we'll go through the let's see here. What's next? When you completed as much of the design as can be contained within the frame at one time, iron it carefully on the wrong side with a moderately warm iron, first covering the embroidery with a damp cloth to remove the marks made by the ring. The greatest care should be taken not to have the iron too hot. Too hot, as some materials may scorch very easily. After this is done, replace the work in the frame so as to bring the unworked part of the design within the rings. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so if it's too big, there's lots of ironing. Check. I'll remember that for later. The foregoing are general rules covering all kinds of embroidery, and hereafter we shall take up step by step the details with which the beginner must become familiar before endeavoring to do more complicated work. Oops. Before entering into a description of the variations of lace stitches, we show you here illustrations which demonstrate the simplicity of the work at its beginning and the high perfection that may be reached. What can we aspire to do? Oh, I love that top. No, I hope that's cut work. I want to do that. But we're not there yet. This bottom section, this is how did they take a picture of my work? That bottom squiggly section, that's exactly what I've got going on right now. They have my work. They knew I was going to be that awesome that it showed up in the book already. Figure 5 shows the hoop embroidery frame covered with a piece of common muslin used to practice the first stitches on. Oh, yes, Kilroy, the bigger the thing is, the more you have to iron it. Darn it all. Why, thank you, Mr. Singer. You must have had to hire Sherlock Holmes to deduce that fact exactly. Because I would have just rehooped and not bothered to iron the crinkles out before I got to the next section of the bigger piece. First stitches on. More than anything else, it resembles a child's slate covered with irregular marks made during the first lessons in writing. Why, thank you. My stitching is great as a toddler and a crayon. Because in machine embroidery, as in writing, the lines show vacillation and there is uncertainty in judging distance, it is only by persistent practice that one acquires firmness combined with freedom of movement. The cloth in this frame shows the first efforts of the apprentice unmeasured. unmeasured stitches made while learning to control with precision the movement of the frame, limiting the length of the stitch to the distance between two parallel lines until certainty of action is gained, covering a cord which is practically the same exercise on a narrower measure, all repeatedly until considerably rapidity has been attained. When the learner begins to practice covering a square opening cotton cloth, moving the frame rhythmically in the desired direction and in time with the movement of the machine. Oh, Ellie, you didn't read the book. You only made it to page 4. Crayon work, exactly. Hey, Gaffa, welcome, welcome. So glad to be that you're back. That I can listen to you as I have some coffee intermittently. We're sewing the equivalent of early 1900s scribbling. No, I think we finally made it to page 11. Though I am being called like a toddler with a crayon at the sewing machine, and I do have to say, stop the screen, that my work looks just like that. Stop sharing. Yes, we've achieved scribbling stage with our stitch. Oh, don't be an unmeasured apprentice. Exactly. I'm trying to be so very measured with my stitches. Wow, they can lay it on thick. Right. I know. This manual is like not this manual is not designed for kids, for young adults and kids of these younger generations. They'd be like, my feelings are hurt. This book did not compliment me from the very beginning. It says I'm only toddler capable, but I thought I was the bestest, the ultra best at stitching. No, the stitching sucks. You're terrible. Go back and sew me 900 more lines and then come back and show me some more. They do. Yeah, this is good. Maybe that's actually, I think this should be required reading for all individuals under the age of, I'm gonna go with 35. If you're soft, just read these books and follow the lessons. that'll that'll learn you to not feel so, oh no, I can't handle working 9 to 5 and then commuting and then doing stuff. Oh, woe is me. You can take it and try to not so scribbly lines. Alright, how else is the singer book gonna shame us next? Do. Okay. Oh, God, your church quilting group reminds everyone that only Jesus was perfect. Yes. I know that they do the same thing like with the Amish quilt. There's some of the other sects. They're like, if you think you're good, then you have to purposely put in a flaw because only the divine is perfect. And we are all but flawed creatures. Hey Jess, welcome, welcome. Oh, Allie, I'm over 30 and over 30, and you are an unmeasured crayon class. Shit. Oh no. That's all right. This book has no shame about shaming all of us and our imperfections. No, in this illustration are shown the general principles upon which all machine embroidery I carried. Oh, at least I don't have to add flaws. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not at the point of adding flaws. We have plenty enough as it is. It's going to take us quite some time. These same stitches are made in the beginning without either certainty or fixed direction. Yeah, no, we're just like wandering around in circles, sewing super shitty. Oh, Killer Right, you are a disgusting, unmeasured apprentice private. Drop down and give me 20 lines of embroidery. Yes, exactly. Yep, that's pretty much. That's pretty much it. Because the battle for Snowflake Hill is almost done, but we're not there yet. So we are flawed apprentices. Oh, yeah, there's no precision, no orientation. We didn't sew in circles, but yeah, our line arrangement, our soldiers are not lined up nicely in rows. That was good, Killer. Yeah, we'll just keep that storyline going. Oh, where were we? Fixed direction. When grouped together with precision gained by practice, after one has learned to control the movement of the embroidery frame and follow the design, produce results such as shown in the next 2 pages. Ooh, what can we practice up to? Which illustrate 12 unfinished pieces of embroidery as they appear in the embroidery frame. Goth was stopping in to say I have more work to do. Have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by, sir. You are always welcome, and enjoy the rest of your weekend and day. May it be productive and healthy. All right, let's look what we might be able to aspire to. We've got, look at all these beautiful flowers, all those uniform, even satin stitches. Oh, if only one day we too can be this amazing. That I am so intrigued by this. I love the notion of this drawn thread work. I know you can do it by hand, but that takes forever, and I'm like, no. But to do that on machine, I am super excited for this. All right. I got the next page of beauties. This like the braid work. Oh, so much. Oh, they did not do very good color correction. This is like, welcome. Cutwork, flowers, so many pretty things. Alright, let's see here. Where did I miss anything? No. Okay. Next pictures, or what lesson are we going to be? What's next? Blank page. Good, good. Ooh, here's some poppies. How pretty. Oh, so good. I wonder, did they touch the color up with watercolor, or is they just had vibrant threads? Ooh, this is an example of shaded embroidery flowers, photographic reproduction of actual work done on a Singer family sewing machine without special attachments. Ooh, shaded embroidery flowers. Let's see here. Now they are just trying to give me a complex, look at all those wonderful things I can't do. Exactly. I'm feeling the same thing. I'm like, okay, maybe in 500 years, I too can be that amazed that I can sew something. Not that was almost marginally resembles that. But yeah, right now we're like, well, you've seen, we're still sucking up at the straight line sewing. Oh, Killer, I wonder if they didn't make a really big piece and then shrink it down for publication, and that's why it looks so good. I don't know. I guess part of it would be, since it needs to be in a hoop, how, I mean, you're kind of limited in your hoop size with the harp of the machine, and I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, should we read the shaded flower section? Maybe try that, and then we'll. What do I have? Oh, we'll use this same fabric, and then we'll find somewhere to draw more. To draw more straight lines. Under this heading, we offer the following directions to those who, having a taste in that direction and some practice in making machine embroidery, together with the love of the work and goodwill, desire to use this mechanical method of doing shaded embroidery without exceeding the limits of their own ability and knowledge of drawing and painting, as it is obvious that in order to do some of the work, it would be necessary to have studied and to know fundamentals of art. Another thing, like you can't sew if you can't draw, can't paint, and don't have a good eye. All right, check. We confine ourselves, therefore, to work that merely requires us to only be kind of knowledgeable or not completely shitty. I guess I don't need to swear so much, but that'll be for next year. Killer Ray, they had all kinds of stuff back then. They probably had a 10-foot hoops, maybe. Is this a shady? Yes, Allie, this is the shady sort of flower section. These are the flowers you don't want to meet in the night in the dark alley behind the corner store. No, let's hear, Allie. For those in that direction, now they are calling people shady too. Exactly. We're being shady. Your skills are toddler-like, and you're shady. How much? How much more can this book shame us? And we're hardly in the first real lesson. Intelligence and natural artistic taste on that part of the worker. Let's hear. Do I have any taste in art skills? We'll see. We shall describe to you how the work is to be prepared, and shall also give you such advice as may be of service to you in ordinary work. Kilroy, better carry a gun in case you come across some shady flowers, right? Prepare the machine by inserting a number 00 needle, although number 000 is sometimes necessary when there is very fine detail, and use number 00 silk. Well, poppycock that. We've got a 9040. No, these are, I don't know. I've got some needle and some cotton thread, so that's that's what we're going to use. I don't have new silk sewing thread. All I have is antiques that I'm not going to sew with right now for the practice. Let's see here. Place the material in the embroidery frame. Check. Having it tight and smooth. Check, as the success of the work depends upon this. Alright, we'll tauten it up. It is well first to select the silks required by the model, bearing in mind the silk. Elliot Lake Singer said, I might be just too stupid to make shady flowers. Oh, Killer, I'm surprised it didn't tell the unmeasured apprentice to use that, mostly cotton thread. I know! Was silk thread just that abundant that they'd let us terrible, unskilled novices and apprentices use silk thread? Spool is always darker in appearance than it is after it's worked. Let us suppose the model selected is composed of flowers and leaves. Stamp the design on the material have upper tension a little looser than under tension, and work the stems of the flowers first. When embroidering leaves, petals, etc., always work from the outside edge towards the center, slanting the stitches according to the design. Keep the stitches perfectly even. Should I don't have a flower thing stamped. I guess I could just sketch something. Ah, Killer Ellie, you're never stupid. You are simply a permanently unmeasured apprentice. Oh, perfect. That's it. Oh, we're right. We're not stupid. We're just unskilled apprentices. Let's see here. I think I'm supposed to save this for a project. I don't. Did I pull more fabric? I do, but this is for aprons. I can't. This unmeasured dumb apprentice only has this one piece of fabric for right now. So it shall be. Indignant. Ellie Singer sold. Oh, this is part of the racket. Singer sold silk threads. They sold it all to us, stupid crayon class unmeasured apprentices. Oh, well, Kilroy, better my feelings than Singer was for sure. Oh, man. Oh, but we do have too little for straight lines, but we'll just unpick that and just sketch a quick little. We've got we'll just do a 3-petal flower. And just one leaf. And we'll stitch over that. Alright. I guess we probably don't want black, though. Oh, Killeray, there's always a racket. Just like the recipe on the box saying you need other stuff made by the same company, right? Okay, so what did they say? To start with the darker color on the outside and then move the inside? What did I just read? Yes, I know. We want everything to be perfectly even. Looks required by the model, bearing in mind that silk on this wool is always darker. Okay, so don't be afraid to use a darker color because it's going to end up lighter colored. Carry out modeling of the flower. See that the stitch is finished. The base or the center of the flower, which is the last part, should be embroidered, all of which you can easily see in figure 5, as well as the petals of B and C in figure 4. Okay. So let's pick a different color thread, something nice and dark for the outside of our flower. We'll get our stem, and we'll just sew one last little quick flower for today. Then we'll go back to satin stitching, but I know unless everybody's sewing satin stitches with me, watching me sew satin stitches, it's not really that exciting. Okay, we have this nice dark Kelly green. our cute little flower here. I think this is the tiniest hoop I have, like 3 inches, almost 4. It's wee. Oh man, almost time for some more tea. Hot tea. So I need another box of masala chai, but not going in town to the Indian market right now. It's Friday. Alright, what did they say? Work from the outside to the inside? And ideally, I should have not had my needle in. Okay, we're gonna go up. Okay, don't get cussed out yet. Alright. You can never have enough tea. I know. Especially, I am a huge fan of I love the masala chai. I just love chai though. It doesn't need milk, no sugar. Just give me the warming spices. I got some sections of ginger root, partly for tea, but I think I'm going to take one of the little sections and put it in some soil so I can just have my own ginger plant. Oh, it says to hold the thread in the left hand. I'm just going to put the needle down. What is it? I'm supposed to sew over it. You are not very tight. You're an Earl Grey person. Awesome. Oh. Trying to sew nice little stitches. Ooh, Allie likes English breakfast or oolong. That one's good too. And the Earl Grey. Yeah, go back and forth. What? Yeah, definitely any type of a chai and is it matcha? Genma chai, and what's the other toasted rice one? I don't mind mate either, but that one can be too grassy flavored. Oh. It's pretty, it's nice. I know it's hard to be limited about what the local grocery stores had. Some of the fancier teas I end up getting online. I used to get this one Russian Caravan that I need to find some more or another maker because the place I got it from isn't making it anymore. But it's got this smoked flavor because they said that it from sitting next to the fires as it came along the Silk Road. Oh, you know what? And then we'll do lighter on the inside so that the shading is on the outside. I forgot that we were selling shady flowers. We'll do 2 rows of this darkest one, and then we'll pick a slightly lighter tone. Ah, killer. I'm lucky some guy from India who immigrated here opened up a tea house. So you can get almost anything. That is brilliant. Alright, we've got the dark side. The dark side of the leaf. I know, we've got a tea house in town, and I haven't been there in like a hot minute. Oops, that one's darker. I want a slightly lighter one. Yeah, let's just use up the last of this like olivey toned one. And I can have another empty spool. Why do I feel the need to save empty spools to make like little spool dollies? I can't throw them out. And I know, like, what is wrong with me? And my brain is like, they're empty, but you can still do something else with them. Like, why? Why, brain? You don't really need to do that. Yet, I can't stop myself from not doing it. I need permission to throw out plastic spools. Just dumb. Okay, see to hold it. Wood spools, need those for the National 2 spool. I do have empty wooden ones, but I've got mostly it's. Yeah, I've got a couple of empty wooden ones too. Do you need some? Something is not quetching right. Oh, the bobbin is an old style wood spool size. Oh, fascinating. It's aged somewhere. What's going on under our bobbin? We were doing so good until we switched colors and splooged it all up. Alright, we got the shady section of our leaf. Now we'll sew the lighter section, or until this green runs out, and then we might do like the lightest on this innermost little section there. Let's see here. Hold the thread with our left hand. Just go there. Sure. Let's call that the spot. Oh, the spool almost needs a little more weight. The spool is bouncing too much. Yeah, something is. We fudged up something bad. Alright, let's slow down so that we are not a complete embarrassment to all novice flower makers. Mm. I'm just backtracking over where that satin, where we're doing the Satan stitch instead of the satin stitch. Okay. Oops. We're not doing very good. Gonna go from crayon to classy. Yeah, we are. Maybe by the end of the book, I will feel brave enough to purchase a set of silk threads in different color tones. Because I bet. Does Wallach have a set? I'll see. Or maybe, does Guterman have like a mixed. Does Guterman sell silk threads? Maybe one day we too will be good enough to sew with silk and not just random polyesters and cottons. Oh, this leaf looks terrible. We're drawing with crayons this morning, kids. And I think we've put the shading in the wrong side because this one looks darker than the Kelly green that we started with. Oh well. Ooh, Guterman does sell silk thread, says Allie. You have a black and a white, but that is all I've looked for. Fair. Okay. We'll see. Maybe that'll be there. And if we can. Oh, why? The bobbin's jinky. Ugh. We flubbed up the backside of this. Well, fortunately, we are not ready to be sewing with silk threads. Definitely not. We're still relegated to cottons and polyesters. Alright, let's sew this flower and we might call it a show. We do a purple flower with a magenta. Sure. Okay. Let's sew this flower. So we'll do the darker purple around the outside and then we'll do the inside. It was expensive. Oh, $7 Canadian for 200 yards. Holy shit. Maybe I won't treat myself to some silk thread if we get good. That's expensive. Because you, what, $5 for 200 yards? Good. And that's not even that much, because that's. Oh, I blink and go through 200 yards. That is all the goods. The nice stuff is so expensive. Alright, well, we'll keep looking. Good thing we're not ready yet. I know, also, it's true. Silk's always been expensive, and it's just getting more expensive. It's so nice. But yeah. Oh, should probably thread the needle before we try to start sewing. Fancy that. Thought there was cats by my feet. Just me hearing things. Look. I'm stitching too fast. There's something wrong with the bobbin. Oh, and I just threaded my thread. What a litany of things. Somehow our thread didn't work right. What's going on here? Our bottom top thread just like ate through itself. And this is supposed to be embroidery thread. Oh, but I did find our new pack of embroidery needles. I haven't broken into these yet because I don't want to literally break them, but Schmetz Gold 130-705 HET. They have gold tips on titanium. Needle with light ballpoint and enlarged eye. Titanium nitride coating improves needle wear and resistance in high stitch count applications. Ooh, so we've got fancy embroidery needles that I'm afraid to use. So I'm afraid I'm going to break them. Alright, let's see if we can get this flower done before I need to use the little clown room. Top net. Ellie, and unroll some of the new spool. That thread might be old and UV compromised. Oh, that's possible. So I think some of that was from in the discount section in the bright window. Okay. Oh, that's better. Good. Thank you. Good, Allie. Thank you, Sergeant Stitch. Now we're stitching with thread. Very. No, we are not stitching with thread. We're scribbling with crayons. Maybe next week we can start being more classy. We're not going to have any more shady flowers. Ooh. Let's do a little trimity trim here. Good, Ellie. That made such a huge difference getting that thread to be nicer. Remember, I'd got some of the threads like from the disc. They were like 50% off, and they were right inside the sunny window at the shop. Oh, I keep forgetting to put my left index finger in front of the needle to act as my presser foot. Oh, and I just sheared my thread again. Okay. Oh, you weren't even in the right spot. We'll just cut a good long length. I'll just be gone with that section. You know, I wonder if some of these modern synthetics don't like the all metal parts, and they're like, we're plastic. We prefer to line along plastic parts. Also, I don't have it wrapped around the tension guide. Little man, why are you yelling? Oh, I think it's almost time for some more tea. Tea for two, two for tea, tea for you. Carrie, that thread is committing suicide. It doesn't want to become a shady flower. It was raised to be a good, lawful thread. Indeed, indeed. We're better than that. What's up, little dude? You're rubbing along my legs. Oh. The disappearing cats. They're just like rolling around your legs, and then they're like, no, well, now we're out of here. I also am not. What did they say about driving over the thread? Oh, holding the thread, and then catching it underneath. That's how we do it. Okay, Ellie. Some of it is poorly made. That it just breaks in all machines, then gets discounted, and then that business goes out of business. Then it gets sold to the next shop, right? It's a bulk shop purchase. Probably that is, yeah. When we get good at all this embroidery stuff, and it comes time to finding nice thread, that will be interesting. I'm sewing too fast. Okay, before we switch to the magenta, let's do like one. Do we want to do a second round of purple? Nope. Somebody's being noisy. Oh, I'm gonna fix up this original section. This was not nice. Oops. Wow, you are being so shady, Flower. I don't know whether I need to go back to sewing class or drawing and art class to improve this one. I'm gonna go with both. Okay, let's trim this. We'll sew off the rest of this one, and then how shady of a character are you? More is more shady. Less is less shady. We want to be the most shady. We're the shadiest machine embroiderer this side of the Mississippi. Alright, let's do some of this magenta. Alright, so we've got to practice over the week these straight line, or the sand. We'll get this. We're gonna move from Satan stitch to satin stitch. And if I do any practice, that makes shady flowers great again. Caturday. Oh, Allie, but then who am I to say? Singer has clearly listed me as just stupid, unmeasured, and kid-like to ever qualify my statements. You've got more practice and experience than I do, I'm sure. Weird. I am definitely unmeasured, unqualified, and at this rate will be relegated to the crayons forever. It's good. I like this book. I think it should be required reading. Especially because I'm so terrible at the beginning lessons, and I'm like, I just want to jump to the fancy cut work, drawn thread. Wow, something. It's sludged up down there. There's my. No, this is just the ask. Oh, Caturday. What's that kind of writing? With that kind of writing, it's a wonder Singer took off, and I'll talk about insulting the customer. Yeah, I think were we just used to a different level of criticism, critique, and shaming back then? Have we just gotten soft to being shamed by others? Wow, I've got my nibs stuck. What is happening? Something got stuck in the back here. Yeah, yeah, this. It's not supposed to look like that. Can I even get the bobbin out? Ugh. Yeah. I'll just take out that little rat's nest. You don't need that underneath our machine. Alright, let's try this flower again. But how are you to know you are a child's tablet unmeasured apprentice, right? Seriously. At this rate, I will never progress more than just being a insufferable childish fool. But oh wow. Phoenix, what the F are you stitching? That is not even remotely inside your lines. You know, it's so funny how a book written 111 years ago can make you feel like, wow, I really feel shitty about myself now. I'm being shamed from 113 years in the past. And I am terrible. Oops. You know what? My fabric is not very taut either. That is not helping. At least I'm practicing to slouch to the opposite side. For the past couple of weeks, I've just been like leaning to the left. I'm like, all right, let's lean to the right and at least, ow, try to make everything uncomfortable equally. All right, let's do this last one and I'll call it. Wow, we are scribbling all over the lines. So based on the progress of our sewing between parallel lines, the sewing teacher would not have let me look at a flower with colors yet. He'll get back to that white thread and white and show me something more perfect, because you suck, Phoenix. Alright, we have one sucky shady flower. We're gonna call it a show. Let me pull it up so we can see how shady this flower is. Alright, there's our little shady flower. Oh, wow, you just got sent an eBay auction. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Allie just got sent an eBay auction an A 1936 Texas Centennial badged featherweight for $8,000 American. Holy shit. So far. I know, 8,000 for a non-industrial machine. That is crazy. Yeah, the Singer industrial that I saw in Craigslist here was only 300. We did it. We have one shady flower. You better. I'm not gonna spend my pennies on $8,000 machine. No, can't make. Not gonna do it. Well, hopefully that comes down in price if that's a machine that you want. Good, Allie. Thanks everybody who hung out while we went through this first lesson. We'll see what happens next week in our. Are we gonna do more shady flowers? We're gonna get to something else. Will Phoenix practice and get better sewing between parallel lines this week? I don't know. I know, seriously, UPS losing that package. Oh my god. Yes, let me see if I can get that flower put up. Is that better? That is not going down. It is going for. Oh, that's going for right now unless someone outbids that. That's insane. That's actually. The back is not completely disastrous. What's more light? More light. All right, everybody. Oh, I guess I could have. Thanks for hanging out. We will we'll do more garment sewing tomorrow. And next Saturday, we will continue going through. Wow, we are not in focus right now. We'll continue going through the instruction book because this is going to be fun and we'll see what happens. All right, don't wait until tomorrow to be fabulous today. Don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. And be healthy, wealthy, and wise. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, thanks everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye bye.